In a tight workshop space, a worker tries to lift a heavy, unsecured load using a simple rope. It's a classic sign of corners being cut. The man pulls, attempting to hoist the trough overhead. He stands directly beneath the massive weight, relying only on sheer strength and instinct. Then control is lost. The load shifts, suddenly swinging free from the cable. It strikes the worker with violent force, knocking him instantly to the floor. What seemed like a routine lift becomes a dangerous impact. Never ever use makeshift equipment for suspended loads. They are unpredictable, and the area beneath them is an absolute kill zone. Always use certified lifting gear and stay clear of the swing radius. On a busy loading dock, a worker attempts a quick adjustment on a massive, unstable load. The piece is improperly secured and standing too upright on the truck bed. He leans against it, relying on human contact instead of proper restraint. In a split second, the unsecured load tips. Gravity takes over. The huge panel slams down, instantly striking the worker and sweeping him off the truck. He had no time to react. What started as routine handling turned into a major stability failure. Never ever rely on your body to stabilize a heavy load. If the cargo is not strapped, it is a ticking hazard. Always use secure tie-downs and stay outside the fall radius of any tall, unstable material. On a brightly lit industrial stairwell, a worker is ascending. He carries a heavy tool bag on his back and a motorcycle helmet in one hand. The burden shifts his balance and distracts him from the task of climbing safely. While one hand is free, the weight forces him to prioritize his steps, making the support rail almost an afterthought. As he reaches the corner, a sudden misstep occurs. The weight on his back becomes momentum, pulling him off balance instantly. He is thrown violently down the concrete steps, the heavy bag and helmet crashing with him. The helmet he carried to protect his head now tumbles uselessly beside him. Never ever allow your cargo to compromise your grip on safety. Always ensure a clear path and the ability to use the handrail properly. Distribute loads evenly, or use appropriate lifting aids. Proper preparation prevents catastrophe on the climb. In a traditional bakery, two workers are focused on baking bread inside a tandoor oven. The intense heat is visible as the red-shirted man leans into the opening. This requires precision and, critically, stable footing. But the danger lies in the position. Without a protective guardrail or a dedicated work surface, the worker balances precariously near the edge. He loses his footing while reaching deep inside the hot chamber. In a shocking instant, he tumbles forward into the open oven. His colleague immediately rushes to his aid. Never ever approach high-heat industrial ovens without clear physical barriers and stable platforms. The chamber's extreme temperature makes any fall a severe hazard. Always maintain firm footing and use extended tools to manage the danger zone. Respect the heat. At a fuel depot, a worker is positioned dangerously high on top of a tanker labeled Peligro Inflammable Danger. He performs a task without proper fall protection, ignoring the severe height and fire risks. His stance is unstable, and there is no safety harness to secure him. As he moves near the edge of the tank, he loses his footing on the curved surface. In a moment of panic, he attempts to grab his colleague below for balance. But it's too late. The worker slips and plunges from the top of the tanker, crashing hard onto the concrete apron below. His colleague is also pulled down by the momentum. Both men suffer the shock of the unexpected hard impact. Never ever work on top of a tanker or any elevated vehicle without certified and anchored fall protection. The risk of a fall is absolute, and the presence of highly volatile cargo elevates the danger from a simple injury to a potential catastrophe. Safety harnesses and guardrails are mandatory lifelines in such extreme environments. On a busy night, a worker is dangerously exposed atop a steel tower surrounded by active high-voltage lines. This is a lethal energy field. There are no safety harnesses, no proper clearances, and zero respect for the enormous power overhead. He moves carelessly near the conductors. The minimum safe distance is violated. The air crackles and a catastrophic energy release erupts in a blinding flash. The powerful force throws the worker from his position in an uncontrolled descent. Never ever work on or near active high-voltage lines without absolute isolation and certified fall protection. The danger is invisible, absolute, and unforgiving. Inside a warehouse, a forklift operator attempts to load a massive, unstable package onto a truck. The load is clearly oversized, lacking proper stability, yet the operator attempts the maneuver anyway. As the forklift maneuvers backward, the load begins its inevitable tilt. In a critical split-second decision, the operator jumps from the safety of the cab, making the most dangerous move possible. He tries to stop the thousands of pounds of falling material with his own hands. This action seals the fate of the incident. The huge carton tumbles, striking and destabilizing the operator. He is then immediately impacted a second time by the rapidly retracting forklift mast. The operator falls, caught between the machinery and the massive carton, a tragic confrontation of person versus physics. Never ever abandon the controls or use human strength against moving machinery. If a load is lost, step clear immediately. The forklift is not designed for human intervention. Stopping the job is always the safest decision. On an active rail line, an individual makes the reckless choice to walk directly beside the track ballast. He completely misjudges the safety clearance. He believes his position offers adequate distance, ignoring the immense width and powerful forces of the passing train. In an instant, the train carriage strikes him directly on the side. The forceful, sudden impact sends him tumbling onto the track ballast. He falls and immediately scrambles backward, fighting desperately to escape the imminent path of the roaring wheels. Never ever trespass on active train tracks or violate safety clearance zones. The passing machine allows zero margin for error. The cost of a single misjudgment is absolute and unforgiving. In a tire service yard, where massive truck wheels are an everyday sight, a worker approached a mounted assembly. This job, inflating and servicing high-pressure tires, is deceptively dangerous. The worker was close, performing a final check, perhaps missing a crucial detail: the immense energy stored inside that rubber and steel. Every compressed tire is a potential bomb, a hazard demanding maximum distance. Suddenly, the assembly failed. A catastrophic, instant rupture. The blast of escaping air and metal was powerful, launching the worker completely off their feet. Never ever perform high-pressure inflation without using a safety cage or other restraint devices. Always step away from the line of fire. The immense forces involved mean there's zero margin for error. Protect yourself, respect the pressure. In a busy logistics hub, efficiency often overrides safety. We see a large inclined conveyor belt moving parcels at speed. A worker spots an item that has fallen beneath the running machinery. Instead of stopping the line or using a dedicated retrieval tool, he leans in over the moving parts. This is a critical, fatal mistake. Conveyors are powerful machines, unforgiving of human error. As the worker reaches into the confined space, the moving belt catches his clothing, instantly pulling him downward. The sheer force of the machine drags him into the mechanism. Never ever place any part of your body near the pinch points of a running conveyor. Always initiate a full lockout and tagout procedure before reaching into a machine. Respect the momentum, protect the human element. Take these lessons seriously. Safety is non-negotiable. Like and subscribe to keep learning, and always stay safe out there.